All right. Hi, everybody. It is Kendall Anise, and welcome to Sheen Magazine's Sheen Talk. I'm so glad that you're joining me today for this very special show. I have Dr. Sanza Curtis on here, and let me read some of her bio to you. So, Dr. Sanza, also known as a gut doctor, has years of trusted industry experience. Sanza Curtis, ND, PAC, IFMCP, is certified by the Institute of Functional Medicine and the founder of 3D Wellness under the medical direction of Dr. Naima Chima. She's an honorary graduate of the University of Nebraska Medical Center, MS, physician's let me make sure I get this right, assistant studies with honors, and Clayton College of Natural Health, ND, a doctorate of naturopath with honors. She's a naturopath and she graduated with honors. I can tell you more about her, but I'm gonna allow her to tell you a little more about her. First of all, welcome to Sheen Magazine, Sheen Talk, Dr. Sanza.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. And thank you,
Like,
Kendall.
yes, I'm so happy to have you on here. It's so important that we have this discussion about gut health. And you're a naturopath. So somebody out there is saying, well, what is a naturopath? Could you explain that to them?
A naturopath is somebody that studies medicine, but from the natural aspect of things and looking how your body biological works together with the science, but leaning to lifestyle and herbs and food to be thy medicine.
Yeah, like our ancestors used to do, right?
Yes.
There was no prescriptions. They used the earth. They used what came from the earth as far as food for medicine, even trees, different types of trees and different type of grass and everything around them. Is that something that you get back to as far as healing agents opposed to prescriptions?
Yes, the truth of the matter is all medicine starts from a plant. So we just go to the plant and sidetrack the synthetic that causes a lot of the side effects that the pharmaceuticals is basically making money. But my grandmother was a naturopath and an herbalist. So therefore I got it, straight on from her.
Yeah. So, as talking about gut health, what made you decide to get into this field of medicine?
Well, the biggest thing with naturopathic medicine was healing from the inside out. So with gut health, that's where disease starts and disease ends. So it's not, we aren't what we eat, we are what we absorb. Okay. So if you're not absorbing in the gut, that means your medications, your foods, your supplements, then you're really just kind of almost wasting your money. So I always start with healing with the gut from the inside out. They're looking at the gut now as a second brain. They're sequencing the human genome through the gut, through the microbiome. And the microbiome is just a place where you have trillions of bacteria. And we have over 38 trillion in our system, and it outweighs the cells from 10 to 1. So it's like a symphony. When the bacteria are playing well in the sandbox, they sound harmony. But when they don't, like when you put antibiotics or when you're stressed, when you put the different types of food in there that are inflammatory foods, then you call what we call dysbiosis. And that's just discord. That's just, they're not on the same page. And that's why you have to start with healing from the gut, from the inside out. So you too can live a healthier life, decrease the inflammation, and be healthy.
What type of, and thank you for explaining that for our audience, what type of food, if someone was just new to this and said, you know what, I want to be healthy, I want to ingest everything that I'm supposed to ingest so I can live longer and have a healthy life while I'm here. What are some of the foods that folks can eat to help their gut health?
Well, the biggest thing is prebiotic foods. And let's just back up there, the foods that can help you heal. Mm-hmm. One is eating in season and eating the food that goes from the ground. If you eat out of a bag in a box, you're going to end up in a bag in a box. Okay.
So she's talking about processed foods, all the food that's in the interior of the supermarket. You have
Yeah,
to eat in the outer perimeters, correct?
that is correct. And you get your steps in while you're doing that too. So you want to shop the perimeter. And the other thing is, people always tell me, oh, it's so costs so much money to eat healthy. Go to the local farmer market. It's cheap. It's better. It has the same type of pollination that you would get in your area. Okay, so you're getting that as an added bonus. And then you're helping your small community and you're eating local grown foods that's really going to nurture your body. Okay. A tomato from the grocery store doesn't have the same quality as tomato that's just been picked from the ground. Let's just keep it real.
Yep.
The other things is staying away from those inflammatory foods. Gluten and
Like what?
everybody,
Let's pause. So what are some inflammatory foods?
the three major inflammatory foods that I think cause a lot of inflammation, gluten is one. And people ask, what is gluten? Think about gluten. When you hear gluten, you hear glue, right? So gluten is very neurotoxic, meaning it attacks your brain, and neuroinflammation in it makes your brain inflamed. And not only your brain, it makes your whole body inflamed. Okay. Inflammation in itself isn't bad, but that inflammation in the gut starts a whole cascade and of just destructive food allergies, and that's where disease starts. And then it starts to break down the tissue, and there you go. Diabetes, headaches, joint pain. So gluten, bread, crackers, wheat, gravy, and let me in on your little secret. Gluten is in everything. Okay. So you really have to read the labels and understand it is, and if it says GF, it's probably gluten free, but that doesn't mean it's healthy. So you still have to read the labels. Dairy
So
is
is there another name for gluten, or are they just looking for gluten?
well, most people won't understand this. Gluten, it can be, soy sauce. People don't think
Okay.
about that, but that's gluten. So, if I can just get people off of bread, crackers, gravy, those things, because what you're doing, you're reducing the amount of burden, the inflammation burden on your body. Your body can handle a little here, a little there. So just, for the average person, just stop eating bread, or if you can have gluten-free bread, but don't eat so much. And you start with little increments. Dairy.
Small
Dairy is
changes
small.
into bigger results, right?
That is correct. Small changes make big impact. So, dairy is another one. Dairy is full of, if you look at how if anybody haven't ever been to a dairy farm, go and see what they do. There's pus. It's nasty. There's blood. And then they process it. It's not like when we were kids, you'd go outside. When my mom was a child, I went to the store, but she would tell me that they had to go milk the cow, and that's how they got the cow. But the cow was eating from the grass. Okay. Like, you didn't pump them up with antibiotics. You didn't pump them up to make them big, hormones. So those things, we're also through the food chain, we're getting that. Okay. And sugar
is deadly.
Let me tell you a little fact about sugar. Processed sugar, will I say. So all the white sugar, processed sugar, it can paralyze your immune system up to 4 hours after consumption.
Say that. I want you to, people, especially our community, those that are watching right here on sheenmagazine.com, make sure you listen. I want you to, Dr. Sanza, to repeat that, because we love some sweet potato pies, and I call it church cake, the lemon cake, the butter pound cakes, all of the different, the cookies, the sweets. I hear people all the time, I need something sweet. I need to have dessert. Say that, what you just said. Again.
I'll say it. Thank you for that. Processed sugar, like all the white sugar, all those things, can paralyze your immune system up to 4 hours. Your immune system is very important, especially now in this day and time. 4 hours.
Wow.
And you're trying to fight things off. And you're wondering why we have all these diseases of obesity. And now even how they're growing even our vegetables,
Mhm.
they have a higher content of sugar than they did years ago. So people say that's why I'm a vegetarian. I don't sign up for any diet
Mhm.
because the first three letters in diet is what?
Die.
It's all about nutrition. It's all about feeding your body what it needs. Every type of nutrition isn't right for every type of person. So you need to make sure that you're working with somebody to understand your genetics may be against you in some things that you think that are correct. So those are the major food groups that I have people stay away from, or just reduce the amount that you're consuming. Now
Yeah.
the sugar, you can have fruit. You're talking
Yeah.
about, dessert.
Yeah.
Take an apple,
Yeah.
put it in the oven, put some cinnamon,
Come on. Come on
some
now.
some honey,
Yeah.
some nutmeg,
Yeah.
get you some gluten-free
Some
crackers and
pumpkin
throw them
pie
on.
spice.
Yeah, girl. Put it on there, cook it,
Yeah.
put your little ghee on there.
Come on.
That is a healthy apple pie.
And that's the, come on now. And I'm so glad that you said that, Dr. Sanza, because our people, my people, I love you. I love you so much, but the sweetness of it all, well, I need my stuff sweet. I need to have, this sugary drink. Then I'm going to have this sugary food, the sugary cereal. I'm going to have some sugary dessert. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Sugar is a death sentence. Then you have the cake. And then, of course, in the cake, then you have the eggs, which is the dairy. Then you put the milk. So would you say we're killing ourselves slowly? Because
Yes.
we're eating to live, we're living to eat, opposed to eating to live, and eating what fortifies us. We're doing detriment to ourselves. We're killing ourselves slowly. Would you say?
Yes. I totally agree with that, Kendall. We are totally killing ourselves slowly. And not only that, sometimes you want to ask yourself if you're constantly wanting sugar, sometimes we're feeding the monster within. We can have a candida overgrowth and you just want to eat sugar. So if you're eating sugar and it's out of control, find somebody that you can actually talk to really understand that. If you go to your regular practitioner, they probably won't understand what you're doing. If, diabetes, you're feeding that monster within. If you don't wait and if you don't eat all day and you wait till the end of the day, we need glucose, people. Don't get me wrong. We need forms of glucose, but
Mm-hmm.
it's too much of it when it becomes a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So when our numbers start to drop,
Yeah.
your brain level starts to drop,
Yeah.
and then you don't make rational decisions. And
Yeah.
so therefore, you eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to let you in on this one. They've done studies for Alzheimer's is diabetes type 3. So if some people say you're going to die from something, but watch your
That's the most
sugar.
ignorant statement that we say. And I say we, not Dr. Sanza and I. I'm talking about y'all. Would you say, I'm going to die from something? I'm just going to enjoy myself while I'm here. But you're reducing your days while you're here. And then who wants to live life? And this is no disrespect to anyone. We just got to keep it real. Who wants to live life with one leg or no legs
Yeah. And
and
it does.
say that I'm still here? We got to really think like that. So you say teaching us how to heal mystery symptoms. What do you mean by that?
Most of the time, what I mean by that, Kendall, most of the time when you go to the doctor, if you're having a pain or an ailment and they said, we don't know what it is, they do a small battery of tests and they have what, 3, 5 minutes, if that, and then they're out the door. Nobody sits there and try to takes the time and try to figure out the pieces to the puzzle. So the mystery symptoms is I'm having these issues, but your labs are telling me everything's okay. You're telling me everything's okay. So when those same patients come to me, I look at a deeper panel and I'm like, you have gut issues. You're eating the gluten is causing your joint pain.
Hmm.
Okay. You have autoimmune disorder. You're depressed. Well, your thyroid's low. Nobody's checked your thyroid. So we take a full wellness approach, also looking at the mind, the body, and the spirit, because I can't heal the body
Woo,
if you've been raped as a child and you
woo.
haven't dealt with that. So I work with therapists. I have a whole team that I refer to. We deal with it from a whole person experience.
I love that. And I was going to ask you that. So that takes me right into my final question. Well, we're in May, leaving May, going into June, but May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And could you explain to our audience how the foods we eat affect our mental health? You talked about it a little bit, but I wanted you to just to go further in that, if you will.
There is a gut-brain axis. You have the same type of tissue that conveys the food we eat into the source of the nutrients that we utilize in our body. The cells in the gut are called the enterocytes. The cells in the brain are called the gliocytes. So when those cells have similar, they're just alike, just because where they're at has a different name. But there's 9 pathways from the gut to the brain, and there's 1 pathway from the brain to the gut.
Mm,
So that's why stress can affect the gut. So what you eat has a direct impact to your brain, and it can cross the blood-brain barrier. So
mm.
many a times people are depressed because 75 to 85% of the neurotransmitters are stored in the gut. So I'm gonna back it up because people are
Woo.
saying, Dr. Curtis, what are neurotransmitters? So the neurotransmitters are the chemicals that your body needs for that connection. So everything can just kind of just think about it from an extension cord. Okay.
Yeah,
So if you don't have that extension cord, you can have all the plugs in there, but you have to have the extension cord. So the
yeah.
neurotransmitters are just that. So the serotonin, the epinephrine, the
Mm,
dopamine, that
mm,
pleasure part of the brain. So
mm-hmm.
if you don't have, if that is stored in the gut and you're not getting the nutrients, you can't make that connection. And it's not that you have a Prozac deficiency. Your gut is jacked up, and you
Mm.
need to heal your gut and get the nutrients that you need to feed the brain.
So what I hear you say, heal your gut, heal your life.
That's it. That's it.
Whoo!
Heal
Heal
your gut, heal
your
your
gut,
life.
heal your life. That's the new slogan.
Can I steal that one?
Yes, you can.
Hashtag.
Make sure you say the remix
I,
coach.
I will. Hashtag
But it
remix.
really is because you hear it all the time. We heal ourselves, we hold everything in our gut. So when people say I have a gut intuition, that really is a gut intuition because it resonates throughout your body. Heal your gut, heal your life. And I want all of us to live. I want us to be healthy. I want us to unravel and redo the way we eat historically. I want us to all be here and have a healthy life. Dr. Sanza Curtis, please tell me and tell us how they can get in touch with you. You're out of Georgia, right?
Yes, I'm right outside the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia.
So if they want
And
to
my,
book an appointment with you and then
yes,
mhm.
we have, if you go to my website, it's www, the 3 is spelled out. So it's THREE, dwellness.com. So it looks like 3 wellness. And we also offer 15-minute discovery call, and my health coach would sit down with you to see if you're the right person. And the other thing, I do not take insurance. So sometimes people will say, oh, you cost too much. Well, you pay now or you pay later. Because if you don't pay for your health now, you're going to pay later. So you're going to spend your youth to get your wealth, but you're going to spend your wealth to get your health.
Let's just pause. So if you're buying, you're waiting for the new Telfar bag to drop and you're trying to get that, you're trying to get those Louboutins, you're trying to get all of this material thing, all these things, but then you say you can't afford to take care of your health. What do you say to that, Dr. Sansa?
Well, what I say to that is, where is your value? Do you value those things that give you nothing but status? Or do you value something that's going to give you longevity and where you can spend time with your kids, your grandkids, your uncles, your aunt, do the things that God has called us to do? We have to be about our purpose, and we can't be about our purpose broken down. So if you're willing to take the chance, I will stand toe to toe with you. And I partner with my patients. There's work you have to do. You just don't come to me and I give you, some pills and you're like, oh, that's my life. You have to do work. You have to make the changes. I'm just a navigator, just like I'm the coach. I'm just a doctor coach.
Absolutely. And I love, as a life coach, I love me a good coach because that's what it is. And you're a doctor for sure. I'm not a doctor, but I am a life coach. So I understand the passion and the urgency to help people live the best life they can live. And I thank you for doing what you're doing. I really do. And this is an important conversation we need to have. So I thank you so much for joining me on Sheen Talk.
And I thank you for having me. And I pray that I was great information for the listeners.
You absolutely were. So she said you can catch her. I'm looking at her Instagram right now. It's a lot of great information on there at Dr. Sanza Curtis. Make sure you follow her on Instagram, and all of her information, her links are right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really, really do. Everybody.
And thank you. And I appreciate Sheen Magazine. And thank you.
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you so much for watching Sheen Talk on sheenmagazine.com. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow me at Kendall Anise and follow Dr. Sanza. Until next time, God bless. Remember, you are a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Until next time, peace.
Thank you.